Thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it. Kath especially appreciates it because there were a few times during the planning of this. This is entirely a Kath Friedrich creation. It was one of the things I have to take care of a little business first. There have been vicious cousin rumors going around, and this is Kath's side of the family. Jordan, Zane, who didn't even raise his head to show up tonight because I think he's a little embarrassed about the rumors that he was spreading. Zane blames it on you, Jordan.
No, Joseph.
That is completely not true. Ask Father Timothy. We should bring this in no more than about 2 hours and 45 minutes or so. So no problemo. And I want you to know, is that other priest going to be there too?
Father Ian.
He is a speed talker, I tell you. And we know this from the baptism, so he should be able to shave a little bit of time off. Realistically, it's going to be about an hour, correct? About an hour?
It's about 45 minutes, and then we'll 15 minutes of talking. So.
Yeah, okay, so about an hour, so I think you can make it. The other vicious rumor spreading around, once again, this is a cousin rumor. You do not need to bring a prayer rug to the ceremony yourself, okay? That's not necessary. A prayer rug will be provided to you at the ceremony, okay? And for Zane and Jordan and Joseph and Thomas, they'll have one of those little round cushions so that when you're kneeling down and slam your head against the granite, you won't be too injured or concussed at the time. Now, one of the things Chris told me is they had to find a church that actually had chairs. So the church has chairs, so I just want you all to know that there will be chairs and all that kind of stuff. So it's not everything that you guys have cracked it up to be. It's actually just pretty normal compared to what you've been through before, okay? So there is a true rumor out there, and the true rumor is that we had never tried this wine before tonight. Who had wine? Did a bunch of people have wine? Okay. This whole table didn't have wine? Anyway, and
What you didn't drink today, you're drinking tomorrow.
we're drinking tomorrow. We would, yeah, that's Chris's job, which I will get to later. So anyway, the wine is, we've never tried it before. It's a brand new winery. We hope you like it. Mike and Carlene recommended it to us. Mike's niece and her husband started a winery very recently ago. It's up in Amador. We've got little cards on the table. We wanted to help them out, and also I really like the wine, and so it's called Holgate Hill. If you like it, fantastic. If you don't like it, talk to Mike and Carlene and tell them about that. Okay, so at the baptism, I don't know if you know, Chris and Sarah got baptized in the Orthodox Church about 2 months ago? January, okay. And at that time we had a little dinner, and I tried to test people's knowledge of these sacraments, since that was a sacrament of baptism, and tomorrow is the sacrament of matrimony. So there are some similarities there, at least in the church. And anybody who taught catechism allegedly knows stuff. There are 3 elements to a sacrament. Oh, Carlene, I'm embarrassed. Does anybody know what the 3 elements to a sacrament are? Were you at dinner? You were at the dinner? You don't get to answer. Does anybody know what the 3 elements are? Claire?
Ask these nice Catholic boys right
Claire? You know?
here.
It's an outward sign instituted by God to give grace. Oil. Outward sign instituted by God to give grace. Okay, we know outward sign, okay, instituted by God, we know. What is give grace? So give grace, do you remember? To give grace is I had to look it up because everybody can have their own idea. And so grace is a gift from God that's given without merit, like in baptism or whatever, but it's supposed to inspire you to live a life according to Jesus. And with regard to matrimony, what I'm hoping for Chris and Sarah is that they go forward together and live a life that is what they want to be, to live together that way for each other, to live that way for their family, and to live that way for other people outside of themselves, and to go out and do good things for other people as well together. And along those lines, I happen to have been very, very, very fortunate in being able to do that, because some sisters may disagree with this, but I married a saint. Don't laugh, because living with a saint is really hard, as you well know. Some of the sisters know this. I certainly know this. There's the shame when you don't do something right. There's, having to live up to certain expectations. And of course, something that Chris got from his mother is the holier-than-thou attitude. And so Chris kind of got that from his mother. And for instance, Chris repeatedly reminds me that I am going straight to hell. And
Say it, I just confirm it.
no, you say it, and I say no, really not. And then, just when I think I'm creeping out of it, I'll say something or do something that Chris is thinking at the same time, by the way, that he convinces him that I am still going straight to hell. But really, I think deep in his heart, and we know that it shouldn't be more than about 3.7 million years in purgatory, or thereabouts.
And pictures are worth 1,000 words, but I'm going to duplicate that with another 1,000 words. I am blamed for talking too much, and I place the blame back on my sister, Carlene. And you're going to ask why? Well, because when we were in high school and we had to go talk to teachers, she would always say, Kat, you do the talking. I'll be right there with you. And so I always spoke on behalf of both of us. And probably because of that experience, I became a lawyer and learned how to speak on behalf of others. And so I'm here tonight to speak on behalf of all of us here. Chris and Sarah, we couldn't be happier for this lovely occasion. So congratulations. This is a core group of the people who have witnessed to Chris and Sarah love. And this is a celebration of love and family. And they were conceived in love, they were raised in love, they're surrounded by love. So I want to start with Sarah's family. Bonnie and Craig, will you stand up? Grandma Peggy, stand up. Her grandmother's here. And her second mother, Lisa. This year will be 63 years of marriage. Story over and over again, and you knew he was going to hear it again tonight. He was supposed to be my daughter. I wanted a girl. In fact, Tim will tell you, I was only going to have 2 children, but because the second one was a boy, I was going to get a shot at a girl. And we thought it was going to be a girl. We picked out a girl's name. We didn't pick out a boy's name. Gabrielle was the girl's name. Yes. And it wasn't a girl. But not a nanosecond of regret did I have that I had another boy, because I thought, I know how to do boys. Now, I grew up with there were 8 children in my family, 7 girls and 1 boy. And I can tell you, there is a big difference between girls and boys. I mean, those of you who have brothers, and Sarah, I think you've sort of been introduced to this. Boys are different than girls. They're very physical. They stink a lot. fart in public, they'll burp in public without, you know, you have to remind them about the courtesies.
And manners.
But there are a lot of positive things about boys, and I'll say that there are a lot of positive things about boys. One of the things is they don't care what clothes you put in front of them, they'll wear it. And they'll wear it for a week until you tell them not to wear it anymore. And they don't fuss about their hair, and they don't, you know, no makeup, and they're just easygoing. So there are a lot of positive things. But I have to say this to you, Sarah. You now complete our family.
Aww.
Because I have been outnumbered for so many years. Thank God. I needed someone to balance out 3 boys and my husband and me alone, and we had a dog. It was a male. That's been my life. So, Chris, I very much appreciate that. Your gift to me is finally the daughter I should have had. You complete Chris, but you complete this family too. You guys are a perfect pair. It's the scientist of Chris with the artist that is Sarah. It's the yin and the yang. It's a lovely balance that I see. The rational logic with the beauty of artistry and music, and it's just a beautiful relationship. I have to. Nick reminds me that when asked, you know, who his brother was marrying, he said, "My piano teacher." And so my joke was, my youngest son is marrying my oldest son's piano teacher, and people had pictures in their mind what that piano teacher must have looked like. What Sarah brings to you is that she makes you a better brother. She makes you more patient. She makes you a better listener. And Chris, I hope that you bring things to Sarah, like argue louder, assert your position. There are probably other things that you bring to that relationship. There is a balance, and so I hope that will continue. I hope for you that your joys multiply because you share it with each other and you share it with those who love you, your friends and your family. And I also hope that your sorrows will be diminished because you share it with each other and you share it with those who love you and the world. So I hope that the story of family and love continues with the two of you.